10 months ago, I made a decision that completely changed the trajectory of my life. And I made a decision to take a gap year. And maybe a lot of you right now are thinking about whether you should take a gap year or not. And the premise of this video is to give you 5 things that are going to support you, are going to maybe open your eyes up as whether it is worth it for you or not. But also the premise is to show you a different way. Because when I made the decision to take a gap year, in my head, I kind of saw a gap year as something where you go and work a bar job for 6 months, then you go and travel Asia for another 6 months. You know that typical stereotype of a gap year. But I've had a completely different year. I've had to go through challenges, obstacles, grow as a person. I am working in a startup role where I get to be around millionaire entrepreneurs and founders. I get to learn from them. I post content. I learn amazing things every day. I've grown mentally, physically, spiritually. And I want to show you that you can really take a year to build an amazing set of foundations for your life. You can build some amazing roots for the tree of life that you are going to grow. And I want to show you that there isn't just that one way of doing I kind of see it as almost a slight waste of a year kind of vibe. Not in every case, but I kind of see it in that way. But there's another way where you can be productive, where you can focus on growth as a person and in the things you are doing in this external world. So I want to give you 5 lessons that I've learned so that you can have them in the front of your mind if you want to make the decision. And when you go throughout the year, if you do, you'll know that someone else has been through this. And maybe you can come back and realize that maybe if you face these obstacles, if you want to have some wisdom again, that you can come back and reiterate these lessons because they will help you so much. The first one is something really important, and maybe it's something you have to get your head around because initially it probably wasn't something that was so easy, quote unquote easy for me, but you have to get a job primarily not for the money, but for the lessons that you're going to learn. And obviously there's going to be times where maybe at the start you need to be working those jobs where it's just kind of for the money. You could take lessons from everything, but when I mean the lessons you can learn, you want to be in environments, industries, around people that are going to teach you so much. For example, I got a job 5 to 6 months into my gap year that I still work at a startup. It's a business entrepreneurship media startup where they interview and they do shows around founders, entrepreneurs, like celebrity people. And in doing so, I am learning so many lessons. I'm surrounding myself around these people. I'm learning how to be in these kinds of rooms. I'm learning to do outreach, design, how to communicate, how to get clients, how to get leads, how to chat to these people in these environments. So many different lessons. And for the first 4 weeks of doing that, I didn't make any money at all. And then now I make money, but I'm primarily doing this for the lessons that I learn, because that is the most fundamental thing. You learning your lessons is going to help you, 1, make way more money in the future, but 2, it's going to increase your value that you can offer in the world. Because right now, you probably want to build up some skills, you want to learn some lessons, and you want to be in environments that are going to give you that amazing energy and awareness of like the amazing possibility and the inspiration and the things that you can do in this world. So it's so important that you don't just do something just for the money, because when you direct your head down just for the money, you'll miss out on opportunities. For example, my dad told me that I had to ask them for money when I was in the work experience phase, or he was hinting that I should ask for money. Maybe not have to, but I said in due time, because that money will come as I'm learning. As you are in the right environments, that will sort itself out. It's just about kicking the door down. It's about getting in the door as a young person. Then all the other opportunities will open up. Then the next doors will open up. So just focus on kicking that first door down. The second thing I want to talk about is the difference between loneliness and being alone. Because maybe this is something you haven't really experienced yet if you are coming from school. Because at school you spend a lot of time around other people and it's almost like you're in automatic mode. You do the similar things every single day and you move around with the similar people and you're in this bubble and you probably don't have time, or maybe you do, but you probably haven't had time to truly step back and withdraw yourself from it and be alone. And I think at the start of the year, I thought that being alone meant that I was lonely. But the realization that I came to is that I just had to build the relationship with myself. is I just had to spend more time alone, spend time in stillness. And then I found that over time, I am enjoying my company so much. Being in my own company is one of the most amazing things, and I love spending time alone. So don't think that if you're on a gap year, if you're on this gap year where you're trying to be productive, where you are being productive, where you're growing, where you're putting yourself out there, just remember that if you're alone, that is okay. If you're alone, that is a time to build that relationship with you. That is a time to discover who you truly are and connect to who you truly are and blossom out the purest, most authentic version of you. Don't let it get to you and think that that is loneliness. Don't let it get to you and think you need to fill it with maybe people or environments or don't fit the life that you want to be building. Don't fit it like that. Use this year as an opportunity to build that relationship with you. And I promise you, that is one of the most important things you can do, because you are the only person you live with every single day of your life. So make sure that you build the foundations that you can build on with that relationship with you, because then when you go into things in life, whether it's opportunities, whether you're faced with challenges, whether you're faced with new people, whether you're faced with risks, whether you're faced with decisions, the more you understand who you truly are, the completely different your perspective and the way you approach these things in life will be. And I promise you, it is the most amazing thing, this journey of the discovery of self. It's a lifelong journey. It's not just a journey you do on your gap year. But if you just step onto that path for this year, you will find that you will see things in a completely different light. You will transform how you see the world completely differently, and your life will completely change. So please, don't think that if you are alone, that means you're lonely and you have to fill that with something that doesn't actually need to be filled with, but you actually just need to spend time alone in stillness and build that relationship with you. And look, you're probably not going to want to be alone 24/7. We need human contact, connection. We're social beings. We want to be around people. We want to learn from people. We want to get inspiration and grow around other people. And a lot of the stereotype for a gap year is that you have to travel. And I think people do this because they want to, one, fill the void of being alone with traveling, but two, they lean into the stereotype so much. And I'm not saying traveling is necessarily a bad thing, but I don't think it is for everyone. And I also don't think wasteful traveling is worth it. Intentional traveling maybe, but I think that you can get so much in the environment that you're in right now and around the area in the country that you live in right now, that you don't need to travel. And what I mean by that is getting yourself in environments and around people that increase your inspiration, that give you that amazing, pure, excited energy that fills your energy up, and it increases your awareness of what is possible. It increases your awareness that you can do amazing things, and it inspires you to go out there and do amazing things. And what does this even mean? What are these environments? Number one, online communities. Now, this might sound really abstract to you guys, but I highly recommend that you get yourself around people and it can be online, that are going to be growth orientated, that are going to maybe teach you knowledge or information or inspiration. And for example, that was for me. I joined a community it's a self-improvement community where I have people, everyone's growing, everyone's trying to get better. And then I also have a mentor there who I class as a friend now as well, mentor and friend. Not even class, that guy's my friend, man. And we work together, we grow together, we get on calls, we share our wins, we share our lessons. There's things that I can learn from. I also invested in another course around neuroscience and spirituality in the brain and how to learn around that. And I think joining online communities or investing in courses is going to help you so much, because that inspiration is going to fuel you. Being around these people is what is going to help you on your path, because doing it all on your alone is extremely difficult. I don't think it's possible. I don't think self-made is possible. You need to be alone, but you don't need to do it all alone. So online communities is one way, and maybe your mind might be shut off to that, because I think young people frown on that a little bit, is when you invest in courses or mentors or online communities. But trust me, open your mind to it. Invest in something, start small, and your perspective will change, I promise you. And maybe one doesn't work for you. But just because one doesn't work for you doesn't mean there isn't others out there that will work for you. So trial, error, improve, learn. That's what your gap year is for, is to trial and error and grow as a person. Secondly, you can go to in-person events. And this might seem quite daunting, and it was for me at the start. And I was lucky enough to have people around me that kind of pushed me into the direction of going to events. But whatever industry you're interested in, whatever thing you are interested in, whatever environment that you're interested in, there will be events for you. If you're in the UK and you're around London or anywhere, Manchester, anywhere, there'll be these events. Just look to sign up for events that are going to help you. For example, the last few months I've been to several different events. One was with Higher Up Wellness event. He's a content creator online. You might know who he is, like self-improvement, self-growth space. And he posted on his Instagram that he was doing a talk in London. So I just signed up. I spent £20, signed up when it was an amazing day. So much inspiration, so many amazing people, lessons learned. And then I've also been to a Creator College event, which was an event by June Hugh, content creator, where I signed up. Again, it was probably only about £40. I went, managed to get into the VIP space, managed to speak to amazing people, managed to learn lessons on content, hear from amazing speakers. And my point here is that you can get in environments where, one, you can meet people that can give you advice, can help you on your journey, and you might find someone. Well, actually, in fact, sorry to kind of change the subject, I got my job by going up to the two founders at an event that I was at, and then messaging them on TikTok, and then emailing them to do work experience, and then it led to the job. So you can get in these environments and you will see opportunities. You have to, as a young person, put yourself out there for these opportunities. You have to be visible and get yourself out there. It's probably not going to fall on your lap. It's probably not going to fall on your lap if you're not willing to put yourself out there and get yourself out there. But when you put yourself out there, when you are visible, when you get in these environments, that is when that luck is going to happen. That is when these opportunities are going to come, and you're going to see changes in your life completely shift. And another sort of way that you can get around amazing people is email people that you look up to and ask them for advice, and ask to hop on a call, ask to maybe meet them in person. I have done this year, and it has worked. Look up their email online if you can find it, and then email them. Email them a couple times. And if you can, be as specific as possible as the advice that you want. If you want advice on a certain business you are building, then be specific on the content you're creating. Or maybe you want work experience in a certain environment. Be as specific as you can. And I know this may be difficult at the start because you might not know what you want to do completely. But if you can have a kind of idea of, even if you have the slightest amount of specificity, you will probably break through easier, because when you just ask, can I have advice, it's very vague, and they struggle to give you advice because it's not that easy to give someone advice who just asks for vague advice. But if that is what you have to do, because I'll be honest, that was probably me at the start of the year, that was just, can I just have advice? You will find people that give you that advice, and then you can get on the journey to discovering what you want to do, but maybe you already know what you want to do. And if that is the case, then yes, be firing those emails out. Be firing those emails to the people you look up to in your industry. Be firing all those emails out, all messages on TikTok, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. Be firing them all out, because trust me, you can meet these kinds of people. They want to help young, ambitious people, and they want to inspire the next generation. So it's almost a waste if you don't get involved in this opportunity. The fourth thing you should do on your gap year is follow your dreams. And if you've always wanted to start a business, you've always wanted to do content, maybe you don't know what you've always wanted to do yet, but you have to have the intention of stepping on your dream path, on your dream life path, on your gap year. You have to have that intention. You have to be brave enough to stop living for the validation and opinions of others. Maybe that's your school environment, maybe that's your hometown, maybe that's your parents, whatever it may be. And you have to be brave enough to take a step onto that path and do things that you know you want to do, that you know are meant for you. And if that is starting that business, do that. If that is starting that content, do that. Whatever it may be for you, please just do it. And if you don't know yet, please have that intention, because this year is a year to improve your life. This is a year to level yourself up. And if you want to level yourself up, you're going to have to do things that you know are meant for you. You're going to have to break away from the old mold of doing things for the opinions of others. You're going to have to be authentic and follow your dreams. Please, just follow your dreams. Take every single day and have the intention of following your dreams, following your dreams, following your dreams, following your dreams, following your dreams. Because trust me, when you look back in 365 days, if every single day you had that intention in your mind, one, if you don't know already, you will find out one of the things at least that you love to do. And two, if you do know, and then when you find what you do know, you will have put in exponential amount of reps, exponential amount of inputs and progress, that you'll be a completely different person than you were before. But two, you would have moved on as much as possible. You would have grown so much in that position that you were in, that you are going to be in such an amazing place to one, meet new people, to one, get into new environments, to one, be open to other opportunities, and to one, just be in a different place for what you love to do. And waking up every single day and doing what you love to do is one of the most amazing blessings. And one of the biggest pieces of advice I would give you is that living for acceptance is 100% not worth it. And living for authenticity is 100% worth it. And your authentic life includes doing things that are part of your dream life. You have to live your dream life now. So start embodying that. Start embodying that intention and start taking the actions that you know are meant for you. And the last thing I want to talk about in today's video is embracing uncertainty. This is such an important one. At the start of the year, I was so resistant to uncertainty, and I wanted to have such a strong grip on the future that it was so tight, and I was almost limiting my growth. I was almost limiting the opportunities that I could attract to myself and the abundance that was out there, because I was trying to control so much. But you have to realize this one perspective, because on your gap year and in life in general, if you want to pursue anything great, there's going to be so much uncertainty. But here's the perspective. If everything was certain, if you knew what was going to happen every single day, every minute of every single day, life would be extremely boring. There'd be no room for surprises. There'd be no room for meeting new people. There'd be no room for new opportunities that come up, and this amazing feeling of just excitement. Uncertainty is one of the most amazing blessings. In fact, uncertainty is just a part of life, full stop. So it's important that you change your neuroassociation to uncertainty. You change it to a positive thing, because uncertainty is the biggest blessing. In uncertain times this year, I've been able to blossom out versions of me that I didn't even know I had. Blossom out versions of me that needed to come out. And those uncertain moments were there to help me draw that out. Those moments where maybe you didn't know what was going to happen. Maybe you didn't know exactly what the future was going to hold. But you kept going, and you kept thinking about alignment and operating in alignment and being yourself. That is it. Keep being yourself, because when you're being yourself, everything figures itself out. And then you realize that when I'm being authentic, uncertainty is just part of the process. It's this amazing blessing that you have to relish, especially as a young person, especially as someone who wants to do something great. So don't see it as a negative, and see it as an amazing, abundant blessing. And look, there are so many other lessons that I could share, and I will share in other videos. So if you are interested in, or you're thinking about taking gap year, or if you are, make sure that you subscribe. You drop any, and also drop any comments that you have or questions that you may want me to answer in future videos, because as I'm finishing my gap year, although these next 2 months of my gap year is going to completely change my life, so the progress I'm going to make is going to be crazy. So you want to sub for that as well, as I take you along that journey as well, because so many amazing, abundant things are going to happen. But make sure you drop your questions, because as I have done these 10 months, I have so many lessons that I can share and so much advice that I can give to you that will help you so much. And I want to express that maybe you don't see as many people on the gap year path that I did, but that doesn't mean that you can't do it. And I promise you that if you take a year to grow as a person, to grow mentally, physically, spiritually, to grow in this external world, grow in life and external reality as well, and you see external reality grow, which is a reflection of your internal world. But that's other videos that I talk about as well. But if you take this year to really transform your life, it will happen. And if you have that intention every single day to take that step onto your dream life path, your life is going to change. And I hope that this has unlocked maybe an open mind in your mind, has unlocked something different, and has shown you a different way, because that's why I want to make these videos, to show you that there is a different path, because there is. And there is a completely different path where you can be building your business through this year, where you can be making your content, where you can be working that amazing job in that amazing industry, where you can be growing as a person so much. And that is a blessing. So I'm so grateful you guys are here with me. And as always, keep being yourself, Because when you're being yourself, everything figures itself out.